Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about 3 tips on balancing your hormones in postmenopause, and our first tip is fight or flight. Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Cindy Zappis. I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I also have a diplomat in addictionology and compulsive disorders. Today we are going to talk about one of the 3 tips that you must know if you're in postmenopause and how to balance your hormones. So today we're going to talk about fight or flight. So that's our first tip for balancing your hormones. When I first got my certification in addiction, one of my business coaches said a lot of her friends were in menopause getting kind of addicted to alcohol and sleeping pills and anxiety meds, and she asked me, she goes, well, you've got this degree, it was 2001, what can you do for these women who are having dependency addiction during menopause? And I said, well, there's really not too much you can do for that. So I decided that would be a great thing to develop. I come from a really good engineering school, and design development is what you do. So I decided to develop protocols for menopause and addiction for women using chiropractic functional therapies. So that's what I did. I took a bunch of classes. And I remember one time I was in my office and I'm like, there's something in the nervous system that's missing. It's a big piece of the puzzle and I don't know what it is. Well, years later, I realized the missing piece in the nervous system when I was working out, menopause and addiction protocols was the woman being in fight or flight. Now this can be for anybody, not just women, but fight or flight is an emergency mode for your nervous system if you're going to run or fight. It's a whole physiological reaction. So I want to talk about that related to hormone balancing. But first I want to start with the basics. So I want to talk a little bit about estrogen. Again, this is postmenopause. You want estrogen to be higher than progesterone because here are some of the things that you'll have. You'll have better libido, higher motivation, more clarity, less dryness, more energy. Here the estrogen and progesterone are equal. It doesn't matter if it's high or low. They're both equal. You don't want that. You want estrogen to be higher. Now when you're before menopause, your ovaries are producing the estrogen, but your ovaries stop producing estrogen, and after menopause, your adrenals produce estrogen. So why is that important? So if you are in a chronic fight or flight mode, and a lot of people I'm seeing are, not just menopausal women, but a lot of people, you're in a chronic emergency mode, and that will end up draining your adrenals. And when your adrenals are drained, they don't work the way they're supposed to. So again, your adrenals produce that estrogen. You want that estrogen higher than the progesterone. So that's super important. Now, being in a fight or flight and how to work with that is not really something known by medical doctors, and also not really known by too many natural practitioners either. We have a supplement in our office that works really great. I'm in Northern California. We've had the Tubbs fire, these huge fires where people become very anxious, and so we've had really good success with that supplement. There is actually a questionnaire that you can download, so the link is below, and you can answer some questions, see if you feel like you're in a fight or flight mode, and then I'll also tell you about that supplement if you are interested. So I want to tell you about a story of one of my patients. She had come in, she'd be referred in by Kaiser, which is it's a hospital, HMO hospital here in California. And then she had gone to her OBGYN, which is another Kaiser doc. And so she was talking to this OBGYN, right? And the OBGYN was asking her, do you have hot flashes? And she's like, no. Do you have night sweats? No. Do you have fatigue? And she's like, no, I don't have fatigue. Do you have mood disorders? She's like, no. And she goes, well, do you drink coffee? And she said, no, I don't drink coffee because, I tell all my friends not to drink coffee. So finally the OBGYN is like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Because she basically made it through menopause without very few symptoms. So I've seen a lot of my patients do that. And so that's why I'm doing these videos. This is the first video of a 3-part video on things that are really important that you've got to know in order to balance your hormones and postmenopausal. And this is also for things that are happening now, because the environment has changed. And so there's some things that have happened in the last 5 years that have really made some major changes. So I really encourage you to watch the next 2 videos. We're going to be putting those up in a little bit. So again, we do have a questionnaire. You can ask different questions. Are you in fight or flight? It's a great questionnaire, and hopefully you'll stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and God bless you. Thank you.